What's up, everybody? It's Riley. Today we're going to be talking about who to choose in the first round of your fantasy draft, because a lot of drafts are coming up in like Yahoo leagues, stuff like that. So let's get into it. Alright, so I put down 12 people, assuming you have a 12-person league or an 8-person league or something like that. So I put them down in a certain order of what you should pick them in, but if this person's taken, like if the for number one person's taken that I say, just go to the next closest person if you're going to follow this. This will legitimately give you the best chance at winning your fantasy league, because I did so much research on this. It'll help you find sleepers when I get to the second and third round and fourth round and all that. I'm going to do a video for each round. Today I'm doing first round. So just follow along, and I'd listen to me if I were you. First overall, I think Le'Veon Bell should be taken. Le'Veon has proven to everybody he's good in the rush game, the receiving game. Like, he gets crazy yards, probably 100 scrimmage yards per game, maybe more than that, I don't know. But the Steelers find a way to get him in the end zone, and he's been a beast for the last 5 years. He's good. So I think Le'Veon Bell overall should be number one pick in your fantasy draft. Number two pick, Alvin Kamara. You guys might disagree with me, but I really do think this guy's a beast. Last year, he proved himself throughout the year. If your league counts like punt touchdowns and kick return touchdowns as 6, then he could get you points in that. The Saints love using this guy and a ton of stuff. They use him when they run screens. When he's running the ball, he gets major yards, and they find a way to get him in the end zone. So I bet this guy will average about 12 to 13 points per game, and that's a lot for a running back. Honestly, maybe even more than that. Like, this guy's crazy insane. The second year. So I think, honestly, him and Bell are going to be close, so take him or Bell with your first pick if he's available. With the third pick of the first round, I think Julio Jones should be taken. Julio, I don't even know how many years, has performed amazing. He's been a good fantasy player. Last year at the beginning of the year, he kinda didn't perform to expectations, but then he had that monster game with over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. So after that, he was on fire again. So I don't know. It might be a little risky. You might want to take a different receiver overall, like before that, because it might take him a little while to get hot. I don't know. But I think Julio will be the best receiver, and I think he should be the third overall pick in your fantasy draft, because he's going to perform well. And he gets monster yards. But, Julio Jones, number 3. Number 4 of the first round is a guy that got hurt last year. He actually got hurt in week 1 against the Lions. That's David Johnson. He's going to be healthy again for the Cardinals, and I think he's going to perform very well. If he wouldn't have gotten hurt last year, I don't know, he might have been the best running back in the NFL. The only reason I have him below Le'Veon and Alvin Kamara is because he got hurt. I don't know how he's going to do now, but I do think he'll do pretty good this year. Another guy like Kamara and Bell gets lots of scrimmage yards. Cardinals don't have as many weapons as they've had in the past. They still got Larry, but he's getting old. They brought Sam Bradford in. Yeah, David Johnson will be a big part of their offense, so I think he should be 4th overall. The only question is, how is he going to perform after his injury? So, yeah, David Johnson, number 4. Alright, number 5 in the first round of your fantasy draft, DeAndre Hopkins should be taken. I know people, as I said yesterday, people are going to be mad because I'm putting him above Antonio Brown and Odell. Y'all are going to be really mad at me about Odell pretty soon. But DeAndre Hopkins is going to be a major weapon in the Texans offense this year. He's Deshaun Watson's favorite target, had the most receptions in the NFL last year. This guy is going to be targeted a lot, and if you do PPR leagues, then that's going to be a lot of points for you from his receptions because he catches the ball a lot during games. They got Will Fuller back there. Will Fuller isn't on the same level as DeAndre Hopkins. So I think DeAndre Hopkins will be a major key to the Texans offense and that he will get many fantasy points. I bet he averages about 12 to 13 fantasy points per game. And he's going to have a lot of touchdowns too. They find him in the end zone. So DeAndre Hopkins, number 5. All right, number 6, Antonio Brown. You already know Brown, one of the best receivers in the NFL for the last 5 years. Gets so many yards. I don't know who led the league in receiving yards, him or Julio last year. But Antonio Brown's a major weapon on the Steelers, just like Le'Veon Bell. The only reason I have him so low, well, I don't have him that low, but the only reason I have him below Hopkins is because they got other weapons on their team like Juju and Martavis Bryant. On the Texans, they don't have many weapons around DeAndre Hopkins, so he doesn't really have to split up the points, and they're not going to really not throw to him. With Antonio, they can throw to Juju and Martavis Bryant and still have a reliable guy back there. So that's why I have Antonio Brown below him, but Antonio Brown, he always has good production no matter who's back there with him in the backfield. Yeah, Antonio Brown, number 6. Number 7, I got Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, you already know he's fastest player probably in the NFL right now. He can do punt returns. He can run the ball for him. He can receive. He's going to have a lot of yards this year. I think as he gets older, he progresses more. And he'll be getting a lot of yards this year. And he finds the end zone a lot on those deep balls. Like, I don't know how well Patrick Mahomes is going to be able to throw the deep ball. Like, if it's going to be as good as Alex Smith. Or if I don't know how his production is going to be. So that's the only reason I have Tyreek Hill below, like, some of these guys. Tyreek Hill, I feel like, could honestly be one of the best receivers in the league, maybe the best. If he, like, could, I don't know how to say it, but, like, he's fast. If he could get everything else perfect, like his speed, then he'd be the perfect wide receiver pretty much. Tyreek Hill will be really good this year. And he's pretty much their only good receiver other than Travis Kelce. So Tyreek Hill, expect to see him as one of the best, and he should be 7th overall in your fantasy draft. All right, number 8 overall in your fantasy draft, Ezekiel Elliott. This guy had a lot of legal troubles last year, so he wasn't in much of the season, except maybe the beginning a little bit. He did get slowed down a little bit, especially by that Broncos defense. They had a really good rush defense. He only had like 4 yards in that game or something, and he had like 12 attempts, I don't know. But this guy will be back on fire again this year like he was his rookie year. Texans are going to need, the Cowboys are going to need him because they don't have Dez anymore. Just expect to see him get a lot of snaps and a lot of handoffs to him. I feel like he'll be in great shape again. His rookie year was amazing. Like, he almost broke the single season rookie rushing record, and I think he could be close to a 2,000 yard season this year. So the only reason I don't have him as high is because the legal things he had last year. So I don't know how well he's gonna do in production, but I think he'll be back to the way he was. So Ezekiel Elliott, number 8. Number 9, I got AJ Green. Y'all already know AJ Green's one of the best receivers in the NFL. He has been the last 5 years. He's a big dude. I believe the Bengals have I don't have my stats in front of me right now, but I think the Bengals have the 5th easiest coverage schedule, like pass coverage schedule. And he'll tear these guys apart. He'll get yards. They find him in the end zone all the time. Andy Dalton and him have good connection. Yeah, AJ Green's going to be good for your fantasy team. He should be taken 9th overall in the first round. If all these other guys are taken, take him. Yeah, AJ Green will be tough. The only reason I don't have him as high as Hopkins, Brown, and Hill. These guys are just like, I don't know. AJ Green's, I feel like, slowed down a little bit in his production last year. These guys really didn't. Tyreek Hill, you can tell, is still gaining momentum, getting better and better. Hopkins got way better than he was 2 years ago. Hopkins had a bad year with Brock Osweiler 2 years ago. And Brown's always just good. AJ Green, though, will get you a lot of fantasy points. He'll get a lot of touchdowns, which is always good for your fantasy team. So AJ Green, 9th overall in the first round of your fantasy draft. Number 10 in your fantasy draft in the first round, I have down Michael Thomas. Michael Thomas, you can see as his career goes on, I think this is going to be his 3rd or 4th year. He keeps getting better and better every year. You can tell he's maturing as a player. He's making better decisions, and he's catching balls. He's big guy. Him and Drew Brees have a good connection. He gets touchdowns almost every week. Last year, I think he had 13 touchdowns. It was a crazy season for him, and he keeps getting better and better. And their offense, the Saints offense, they're so good. They got Drew Brees, Kamara, Ingram, and Thomas. Just expect Michael Thomas to do big things this year, and I think he'll be probably the 4th best receiver overall for fantasy. Yep, Michael Thomas, number 10. Number 11 is a guy who started out really good last year. I think he had like close to 400 rushing yards in the first 2 weeks, or 400 yards from scrimmage or something like that. That's Kareem Hunt. His production slowed down throughout the year last year. Well, in the middle of the year, he didn't have as good of production. Towards the end of the year, he did good again. But this guy can do a lot too. He can run the ball and catch the ball. And they find ways to get him in the end zone a lot. I feel like this year they'll really use him a lot on that offense. It'll be him, Kelsey, and Tyreek Hill. These 3 guys are going to be main keys to their offense, and I feel like with Patrick Mahomes, they're going to run the ball a lot in the first few weeks. So they're running a lot. That's going to mean Kareem Hunt's going to get a lot of the yards and stuff. So Kareem Hunt, you can expect him to do really good, big things this year. So take him 11th overall in the first round. And the last pick of the first round, number 12, I have down Devontae Freeman. Freeman is a big key to the Atlanta Falcons team. He can run and catch the ball. See all these top running backs. Some of these running backs in the NFL can only run the ball. They can't really catch too well. They're not used for that much. But these top guys, for fantasy, they're big keys because they can catch and run the ball. Freeman can do that, and so can Tevin Coleman. They're a good duo back there, but Freeman's just on another level. They use Freeman on those screens a lot. They use him to get in the end zone for touchdowns. Just expect big things from Devontae Freeman this year. He had a really good season last year. Got fantasy owners a lot of points. I remember his rookie year, not many people knew about him at first, and I picked him up, and he got me like 30 points the first week I had him. He'll be good for all these fantasy teams. Expect him to get in the end zone a lot, and Devontae Freeman will have a really good year. You got to trust me on that. So last one of the first round, Devontae Freeman. Alright, thanks for watching, everybody. Tomorrow I will be posting the second round fantasy picks and who you should draft. I got 12 people, and yeah, Odell's in the second round, so I'll explain why he's in the second round tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you tomorrow.